like truly knocks you off your feet, we could probably produce that. And like, you give me 13 seconds and round me up with this guy, and like, it's not far fetched that we could probably do that. But it does get scary because there are like extremists.
Yes,
and
that's my
where,
point.
Like,
That's my point.
That's where lines get drawn. Is
so how do we fix that? That's my point. How do we fix that?
I think you got to break down the core of what's really wrong with the population in the town that we're living in.
Or hey, let me pitch you this. Is it to a point where we just chalk our losses with those who can't just close their eyes and play the drums? And do we do that? And then we move forward.
Are you talking about people that aren't talented, that don't have a talent?
No. I'm using a metaphor.
Everybody's talented.
I'm using a metaphor.
Everybody's talented in something. Like my brother, he's very talented in welding, and my other brother, he's talented in hunting.
Right. I
can't weld, and I've never been hunting.
Yeah, but we gotta highlight people's like talents and let them go for it.
Exactly. But how do you do that for? So okay, so let me put an example out there for you.
I don't give a fuck about those people.
Let me put an example out there for you. There's a guy who's white, okay? And he goes into the hospital with cardiac arrest. Now this white guy, he's a former Grand Dragon of the KKK, okay? And he goes in with dick. Okay. No, hold on. Exactly. First, but let me finish though. Okay. He can suck your dick, and you say that because you have every right to say fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But let me change the script on you. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
You are a nurse or a doctor.
Now I gotta treat this guy.
It's your job. You are legally obligated. But now I'm gonna flip the script one more time because I know what you're gonna do because I know you as a person.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna say that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, you're gonna say that, dude, right? Because that's you. That's your heart. That's your heart. You are gonna say that, dude.
Yeah.
But what if that dude says, I don't want that bleep, bleep, bleep saving my life?
Then I'll fucking.
What do we do about them? No. What do we do about that person? How do we change those people's minds?
I mean, is that time he's hunting with your uncle and shoots the buck?
Obviously, the right question is obviously the right answer to that is, I mean, sedate them, treat them.
No. I mean, on a metaphorical level, what do we do about those people? How do we change their minds? How do we change their way of thinking? You would rather die.
No, it's exactly what my friend BB Pie, she said. She's like, because I have a lot of vengeance inside me.
Right.
There's a lot of devils in there that are talking me to just like throw my successes into other people's faces. She's like, no, don't do that. Kill them with kindness. You kill them with kindness.
Does that work?
Yeah, it does.
Do you really think so?
Yes, because if you save that guy's life, it's gonna fuck with him for the rest of his life. It's gonna fuck with him for the rest of his life. That's what I was looking for. A black man saved my life. And you know what?
And what do you say to that?
Hey, peace with you,
He's
brother.
mad.
Like, I'm gonna fuck with him mentally. I'm gonna kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna show him just another person too. It's exactly what you're saying. You have another scenario. There's a KKK Grandmaster, and then he needs a blood transfusion or whatever, and I have the same blood type as him. Is he gonna take my blood? Fuck no, he won't. So it's on him if he's gonna survive or live or survive.
Right. And if he takes that, then change it.
If he takes
I feel you. Yeah. I get that. I feel you.
And if he dies, that's on him. You put it on them. The racism, all that other bullshit. You make them fucking start questioning themselves and like, there's something wrong with me actually. Like this hate that's inside my heart. Because hate will. You know, it's funny. People. That brings me to my next point, and you don't even know about this. I ain't even told you about this yet. We had a good night that night, by the way. So the night that we had decided to create this podcast, and you're going to remember exactly what I'm talking about when I start talking about it. So we're sitting at the bar, and there's a nice couple that came in, sat next to us, and started talking to us, right?
You remember them?
No.
Yeah, you
You
do.
know who
full.
you were.
Yeah,
cuz.
you do. We were sitting in the needle having
know.
lunch.
Beep,
And-
beep, 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 beep. You know who you were, couple.
Oh, I do remember what you're talking about.
Okay.
I do remember what you're talking about.
You got
Thompson!
God damn it.
So we were having
I know what you're talking about now.
yeah. So we were having a conversation with them.
Pretty rough,
Right?
kind of redneckish kind of people.
Exactly, they were, but they were good. They were good to us, right? We were having a conversation, and at one point in the conversation, the lady said something. She asked you. She said, "Did you vote for Trump?" Which, come on, man. I mean, look at the guy. He looked like somebody who voted for Trump.
I didn't vote for Hillary, but I didn't fuck Trump.
Right. So do you remember that?
Mhm.
And okay, and you ended up going off and you talked to that other couple down the road, and you were talking to them. The lady leans over to me, and she says to me, "I think I pissed your friend off." And I said, and of course, I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, how'd you piss him off?" "Well, I think I pissed him off with the Trump comment." And I thought to myself for a minute, and I was like, why would she automatically think that? And I was like, no, I said, my boy is one of the most open-minded dudes you'll ever meet. Like, I was like, you did not upset him. And it was so funny to me because I see a lot of these, and I'm not talking about just Trump supporters. I'm talking about extremists.
Yeah.
She made it a point to me to say, I think I upset your friend with the Trump comment. And it took her back.
Yeah.
It took her back when I said, no, he don't care.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't offend him. Like, it was almost like she's trying to be a troll. Like, were you trying to upset were you trying to upset my friend
Yeah.
by telling him that why would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, you know? He said, but seriously, that upset me, and that's why I was like,
There's a lot of,
you know,
I learned how to do this firsthand because I was in a bar, actually, biker bar, when Trump won. And that is probably the worst place, Pasadena, Texas, in a biker bar, and the only black guy in the fucking biker bar.
Run.
Yeah.
I'll pay you not to.
Trump wins, right? Trump wins, and like everybody is like Trump, 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 and I'm just sitting there minding my own business. I'm pissed off, obviously, but I don't say anything. And these two fucking college kids. I don't even know if they're college kids, but anyways, they fucking get in my face, like Trump, 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 in my face, like trying. I fucking picked one of them up, and I said, "Don't fucking get in my face, dude! Like, don't fucking touch me."
And why would they do that?
Because they were trying to fucking
Exactly.
I'm the only black guy in the bar, and then everybody started looking at me, and then I realized like it's time for me to go because I'm either gonna get jumped or I'm gonna kick everybody's ass
That's
in
crazy.
this bar or die.
And see, here a lot of people were watching that in the comfort of their own homes. They weren't watching it out there with you, where you were in a bar where in Pasadena, fucking Texas,
in a biker bar, and most bikers are racist.
Their own home.
you know.
And fucking, so I was sitting there, and I was like, I started realizing the dynamic of the fucking atmosphere changed as soon as he won, and it was just, I just saw America change in a matter of 2 seconds. And everybody that was a Trump supporter fucking looked at me, and they were trying to fucking troll me, get a rouse out of me. Fucking, they were trying to kick my ass, honestly. Because I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't fucking vote because there was no options. I wanted to vote fucking libertarian, but I knew that guy was gonna win.
Right.
And so I actually saw the fucking transformation of America from Obama to fucking Trump in a matter of 2 seconds, and I almost fucking got my ass kicked for it.
That crazy?
Just because I was black. If I would have been white, nobody would have been in my face like that.
Nobody would have even known you were there.
And I fucking picked that kid up off the fucking floor. I was so pissed. It's like, don't fucking touch me. And then everybody around the bar was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, yeah, like I was in the wrong.
Right. Now
I
you're
was
the bad
wrong.
guy. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
put him back down, and I had never been that pissed off in my life before. I was about to fucking body slam this kid. I mean, he would probably have been like maybe Tom's build.
And
And I'm not a very fucking like big dude. I don't lift weights. And I was so pissed off. I fucking lift this kid up I grabbed his fucking jacket, lift him up the fucking ground, and I was holding him in the air. And he was fucking like trying to swing and everything. And I said, don't fucking touch me ever again. I fucking threw him back, and his friends like all fucking just surrounded me. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here, man. Fucking, I ain't paying my tab. Fuck you. I'm out of here. And then I bounced. I mean, I like that bar, so I went back and I apologized to the owner, and he knows, you know, I fucking have tattoos of fucking shit on my goddamn you know, fucking retarded. Anyway, but I mean, I don't have anything against that bar. It was just like that 2 seconds, like when he won, I was just like, damn, this is how it's gonna be for the next 4 years, and that's what we're fucking talking about.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
we're so pissed off for.
That's why we're here, right? Like, but it's been something that's been there. It's been prevalent. It's just, I don't feel like it's been as prevalent. I don't know. I feel like it's the elephant in the room, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's been the growing elephant in the room.
Well, Trump supporters, a lot of them, most of them, majority of them, I mean, I would say they're good people. But there is a good percentage of those Trump supporters that fucking want a rouse out of the opposition. They want to offend us. They want to fucking say that that they make these statistics up about fucking, you know, black communities, how like the number of killings, you know, in the black communities are higher than the number of cops that have killed black people. And you can skew statistics any way you want. You can. I mean, yeah, I've read them. I've read all of them. And you're missing a big fucking point. And this is one of the things. When you force people to segregate themselves, majority of the killings and murders that are going to happen in that community are going to be amongst themselves. So there's a high majority of black, you know, killings, black on black crime in those communities because we're forced into those communities. We're forced to fight over crumbs. And then, but if you look at the same fucking statistics, there's a high majority of white on white crime in the same fucking trailer park areas. It correlates exactly. And so what pisses me off is when they try to use the statistics and ignore the other side and say that we're killing each other and that there's such a, well, fuck yeah, you put us in those ghettos. You took away our fucking opportunities. You took away our fucking education. And then you make us fight over fucking crumbs. What the fuck you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go in the corner and I'm going to fucking go against the law. I'm going to sell these drugs and I'm going to try to support my fucking family. And that's what pisses me off is that black people get looked like we're fucking dumb, that we don't know what we're doing. We're all drug addicts. And it pisses me off to a point where I just don't fucking talk about it with white people anymore. Because they want to fucking make up all these statistics and say that we are the problem. No, matter of fact, if you look at it, you're the fucking problem. And if you don't want to talk about your dirty laundry, then don't talk about my dirty laundry. Because that's a real thing. Go to your trailer parks. Go look at the poor community in your white communities. Go to the trailer parks, there's a high majority of killings between them. A bunch of meth heads and a bunch of fucking drug addicts in those areas too. So don't talk about my color or my community like that and say that we're the problem.
Be getting mad.
It's the classist. It's the class.
Be getting real over here.
It's the class it's the fucking classist. You know, it's the fucking echelon that wants to fucking pit the white people against the black people, and it's exactly what they did. And that's where racism started when it was Irish slaves and black slaves. There was sharecroppers and then there were black slaves. And you know what they said to the sharecroppers? The black slaves are taking your jobs. We don't have to pay them.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it?
So we ain't paying them anymore. We ain't paying you immigrants anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then guess what happened? That's what racism.
And what are you gonna do about it? Hey, we're not paying them no more. What are you gonna do about it? Go make something happen.
And then that's when fucking niggers came up, and that's when that shit fucking started.
My man.
And if you have a disagreement with me, go read that shit.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing. This shit is uncomfortable as fuck to talk about. But you know what? This shit's real.
Yeah.
It's fucking real. And you don't get anywhere. We don't solve anything without making this shit real and bringing out that uncomfortable shit. Like, you and I can say we're brothers.
Yeah.
Like you can sit here and be like, you want to know why? You want to know why my people are mad at your people? Listen to me. Shut up. Don't talk and listen for a minute. And you know what? I can be humble enough to be like, okay, you know what? You're right. Because your people didn't oppress my people for 600 years.
Yeah, and it was like what Dr. Sebi said when I posted that thing yesterday. Dr. Sebi said that the white man has in the beginning they were never prejudiced, they were never racist. What any fucking civilization, great civilizations ever done in history was they were trying to conserve their community, their family, their nation, or their empire. And so
survival.
So what did they do? They came to Africa and they burned our books. They stole our knowledge. Alex the Great, the burning of the books of I can't remember where it's from. Anyways, they burned our books. They stole our knowledge, burned our books, and erased everything.
That brings up a good point, Skip. As you guys can see, we're surrounded by Rage Against the Machine shit, and I have my differences with some of the shit, but Rage Against the Machine, I love that shit. And you remember that part in Bulls on Parade where he says, we don't gotta burn the books, we just remove them.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So they burned your books.
Yeah.
And then what they did was they came over here and they realized, shit, the same books still exist. We ain't got to burn these, though. We just take them out of the libraries, and we start putting book bans on shit, right?
Yeah.
We start banning all these books, banning all this literature that is supposed to broaden people's, minds to this shit.
Yeah, it's real history. It's truth. They wrote, and you look at the Bible, and I look at the Bible like this. It's just another history book. That's all it is to me.
Yeah.
I don't have a religion, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like during slavery that they didn't use Christianity to further enslave Black people or make them more
look at the Crusades, man. That's where it started.
Yeah, I mean, but they did. They would teach Black preachers only certain parts of the Bible to keep the minds of the slaves subordinate to their owner.
Absolutely.
And that's a fucking truth. And
Absolutely.
If you say I'm wrong, go fucking read
go
it.
research.
Look it up on Google. Fucking Bobby Lee Saggers out there.
And there's gonna be people out there that say, well, what source do you have to this? And
look it up on Google.
We can respond to it really, but if you do your own research, and it's not hard. And fact check, he said shots
Tommy
fired.
Guns.
Tommy Guns.
Tommy Guns.
Tommy Guns. Shots fired. Tommy Guns. God damn
Fuck
it.
around.
But no, it's
real shit. And that's so.
Stop watching Fox News. Stop watching CNN and taking their word for it.
And that's our point, and in closing, we started this podcast because we want people to take notice of real issues. And you know what? You may not agree, and that's fine. We may not agree with you. Everybody don't agree with fucking everybody. But listen, at least listen to the other argument, because they may have something to say that you just shut up for a minute. I've had to do it, and everybody who knows me knows it's hard to do. Brendan, my boy right here has told me straight up, hey, you need to shut up and listen to me. Do that shit. Do that shit. You know what?
Malice. It's just
It's not out of malice. It's not out of hate. It's just because he knows that he can teach you some shit. Be quiet and listen. This shit is more powerful than this shit. Guaranteed.
Then I'll do the same.
I'll do the same.
But I'm so confident in my intelligence and my ability to rebuttal any argument that you have. And I'm willing to listen, though. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. Because for a very long time, I wasn't able to admit when I was wrong. And that was my downfall. But I'm back.
And we out here, listen, we ain't going anywhere. This podcast is going to stay here. We got Tommy B on board. Tommy Guns. Thanks for making our audio the way it should be.
Yeah.
My boy B. Hey, it's all love. We love you guys. We're trying to make the best of this community that we can fucking be, because we know there's so much more out there. Hey, we got some low-hanging fruit. Let's pick that shit. Much love.
Rise against.
Salt Minds Podcast. We out.
I need a water. He needs some milk.
Peace.
He needs some milk.
Get that man some milk.
Holy shit, that's funny. I'm fucking tired of talking.
Dude.
That was good.
Hey, I feel hella good, y'all.
We did it
For
again.
real.
And we kept it without saying a lot of people's names, so I'm fucking good at that. And I need to do this thing and do